few months ago, I saw a video called Rating Christopher Nolan's Movies. Now, I'm a big fan of Christopher Nolan's movies. In my eyes, Nolan has always been a director who has somehow continuously managed to give the audience films that toy around with their minds and look for something reasonable when talking about the unreasonable. This is especially true with Interstellar, and when I first watched this film, it didn't look like it to me, but on a second watch, the film totally changed my mind. Interstellar is a fun film that is a bit long, but always a good film to watch with your friends or alone at home, especially with the quarantine. The cast includes Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Michael Caine, Matt Damon, and Jessica Chastain. The director of the film is Christopher Nolan, who always manages to keep his audience hooked on a film. As a fan of Nolan's work, I always like to see myself surprised by the magic he pulls off in his music. Interstellar is a film that bases itself on the scenario that soon Earth will become uninhabitable. The only problem is that people have lost all inspiration of looking towards the stars. Cooper, the protagonist, is an astronaut who never left the stratosphere as the governments of the world had to tackle the food problem. He went from being an astronaut to a farmer. Throughout the beginning of the film, we see the government trying to tackle all living proof that humans ever explored the space in the first place. We see that Murphy's teacher, the teacher of Cooper's daughter, talking about how Apollo missions were just propaganda the American government used to bankrupt the Soviet Union.
She always loved the pictures.
It's an old federal textbook. We've replaced them with the corrected versions.
Corrected.
Explaining how the Apollo missions were fake to bankrupt the Soviet Union.
The reason why this is so important is due mainly to one thing. It contradicts everything in modern society. We look at the news, we look at SpaceX building rockets, or NASA looking for ways to make Mars inhabitable. This contradiction is something that makes the film interesting. It talks to us about a world that has given up on innovation, where our society is innovating now more than ever. The reason why this message is so compelling is because the protagonist, Cooper, is one of the products of the lack of innovation. Cooper had talent as an astronaut, but never managed to fly.
And your kids know it, especially Murph.
Well, we used to look up in the sky and wonder at our place in the stars. Now we just look down and worry about our place in the dirt.
Cooper, you were good at something, and you never got a chance to do anything with it. I'm sorry.
Film, I didn't really understand the message it was trying to deliver, but as I watch it now, I can clearly see Nolan hinting towards space exploration. The film is a critique on what is happening to Earth nowadays. Nowadays we are suffering overpopulation, climate change, viruses and diseases, and many other things which are making the Earth uninhabitable. And when the world has astronauts, technicians, and physicists, the space exploration is minimum. As much of the message of Interstellar is compelling, there are many other things that influence a film. For example, the pace of the film, the writing, the shots, and the music. For now, we'll keep the list short. As for the pace of the film, Interstellar could do better. I have always said to myself that the film is too long, but truth be told, I really don't know what I would call of the film. I feel everything adds up to make the film a Nolan film, but in reality, the film is too long. As for the writing, I wouldn't call it a work of art, but there is no problem with the dialogue, and scenes look to be well made and well acted. This film doesn't provide exceptional performances from any of the actors, but it does give good material, which is shown to be a great part of why the scenes live up to the Nolan standard. As for the music, Hans Zimmer has always provided some outstanding pieces for the films. In this matter, Interstellar is no exception. For us to really understand why Hans Zimmer's music is so powerful in Interstellar, I'm going to take a scene from the movie called Stay and then replace it with some other music from a Christopher Nolan film. The reason why I'm doing this is to hopefully explain the use of the music, and why it is so important inside of Interstellar. Let's begin.
Your job. I'll make sure they bring him back.
Look after my kid, Donald. Go for him. Main engine. Start. T-minus 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. Main engine. Start. 4. 3. 2. 1. Booster ignition.
So I think that the real magic of Interstellar as a film is one thing, mostly. And that is mainly that the characters in it love each other. And what I mean by this is that the first scene that we get of Cooper in space after returning from the first planet is him finding out that he's been 24 years in Mars. And the reason why this is so important is because his family keeps on sending messages to him. But at the end of the day, they think he's died. And that's a great part of the film, because Cooper promised Murph that he was gonna come back. And that's the main message of the film at the end. Love. The love that Cooper has for his family. The love that Cooper has to try and succeed for his family and for millions of people on Earth. Interstellar is a film that explains science by love, because it is the only thing that can never be placed into an equation. And Christopher Nolan continuously keeps on telling us about this in the story. So that's what makes Interstellar so incredible. Just the fact that love is such a big part of this film.
Moment.
How, Cooper?
Love, Tars, love. It's just like Grant said. My connection with Murph, it is quantifiable. It's the key.
What are we here to do?
Find out, tell her. The watch.
Dot, dot. Dash. Dot.
Dot, dash, dot, dot.
Finally, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as it deeply helps the channel. Now, thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next time.